Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us. Mark has been so kind to do this with us. He's gonna share with us a little bit of his experience about all his background and why he started Ortho-K, where he first learned of Ortho-K, how his whole experience has been in Ortho-K and here in Mexico in our clinic as a new user. This is for you guys if you're considering to do Ortho-K or you're considering if you have visual health problems into having a new technique or a new option for correction. If you are considering a new option on getting yourselves attended on a visual health doctor, this would be good for you to consider. So first, thank you, Mark. And if you could please tell us about, again, yourself, about why you first approached Ortho-K, why was it recommended for you, when did you get it fitted first?
So I was exposed to Ortho-K in Alabama, but there were no places to actually get the work done. But I moved to New York City, and there were a couple of doctors there who could do it, and I found one of those, and I tried it. And it worked really, really well. I had needed glasses probably since I was about 4 or 5. And about the time I was 13, I got my first set of hard contacts, which later turned into soft contacts. But around 30 years of age, my eyes became very dry. And so I would ruin the soft contacts very quickly, and my eyes would be very bloodshot at the end of the day. Just was not comfortable. So I switched back to glasses for many years, but now I live on a sailboat, and that involves going scuba diving and doing other things, needing sunglasses a lot because I'm not necessarily indoors, I'm in and out. So it helps to have corrected vision, but again, with my eyes being as dry as they are, it's very difficult to wear contacts during the day. So Ortho-K lets me wear them at night, and I wake up, take them out. My eyes are bloodshot in the morning, but everything clears up in 15-20 minutes, and now I've got good vision for the rest of the day. The other problem I have is that I'm 53 years old, and because of that, my eyes are hardening, and so they don't adjust as well as they should. So I have one eye that is set for my phone and my laptop, basically for near vision, and the other that is set more for distance vision. And the problem I was having with my first pair of Ortho-K was that over the course of 18 months, my right eye was extremely good, and my left eye was good for close, but they were so unbalanced that you felt like you were looking at things crooked. So part of the goal when I came here was to see if I could get that corrected. And it took a couple of tries, but we actually did get a working set so that I can see in the distance, see the leaves, see the blooms, but I can also read my phone all without having to put on a pair of reading glasses or anything. It just works. And so that's why I like Ortho-K, is that it solves my dry eye problem, and it also gives me very good vision, and it lets me put on my sunglasses, take them off. I don't need any special sunglasses. Any of the pairs of sunglasses that I can find, I can wear.
Awesome. First of all, comparing then wearing Ortho-K to contact lenses, you said it's more comfortable, it's a better experience. Is it difficult to put on the lenses? Is it like a completely different technology and for they're more complicated?
Oh no, it's really simple to put them on. And I don't do it any different than I did my soft lenses that I wore for years. So you just fill a bowl with fluid, stick it in your eye, and then go to sleep. And the one irritating factor is at the end of the night when you're tired, you've been watching a movie or reading a book, and you just want to roll over and go to sleep. You can't because you got to get up and put in your contacts. That's probably the biggest irritation with Ortho-K is oh no, I've got to get out of bed and go put them in so I can go to sleep. But the next day, you're glad you did because you can see good.
Awesome. And now, in your experience, if you had learned about these before when you were like younger, or if like people have the opportunity of putting this technology into younger kids, do you think that's advisable for them? Do you think this would be like an advantage that would be better for them?
Absolutely, because you don't have to worry about, well, when I was 16, I had a contact actually broken in my eye. Wow. Somebody threw a hockey stick to me without bothering to tell me, and I caught it with my eyeball. Luckily, it broke the contact, but it didn't actually damage my eye. So after about a week of wearing an eye patch, they took it off and everything was okay, and I could go back to using contact lenses. But yeah, if you don't have something in your eye, it can't get broken there. So yeah, I would recommend these, especially for kids that are very active in sports. And the beauty they have is that both of their eyes can be tuned correctly, and their pupils or their eyes are actually still flexible enough that they can adjust for distance and for near. And this just fixes that problem that they've got, and then everything works well from there.
Awesome. And regarding like the whole process about feeding, was it very was it long? Do you feel that it was very trouble? Do you feel you had to come in a lot? How do you feel about the experience of feeding the lens?
The first fitting that I did was stretched out over probably nearly 3 months, but that was where I was coming back in every couple of weeks. Luckily here there's an Airbnb right next door, and so I was coming in about once a week. I would get a new pair or get a new lens, not necessarily a pair, and I would wear that for a week and come back, and then we'd look at how that was working, and we'd make adjustments as we went through. So it took 4 weeks roughly to get set, but we did fix the problem that I came here to fix. And so if you can come back once a week, it doesn't seem like it's all that big a deal, and with the Airbnb right next door, it's hard to beat that.
Perfect. Regarding, for example, the whole experience overall with the service, with the lenses, the quality of everything, how do you feel compared to you being in the first world? Of course, everybody compares, visual health in America, in New York, in the top cities, to what we offer you.
I don't see any difference between the service here and the service back in the States. In fact, the people are more friendly. Everybody was super helpful, and I learned a fair number of words of Spanish as the process went on. So there was that plus, and I got to see an amazing city at the same time. So I got to take in the tourist sites on the weekends, and it was really a nice place to be. And the climate here is unbelievable. I mean, it's as close as you could get to Camelot, I think. It rains in the evening or at night, and it's beautiful and cool during the day. And when we were looking for an Airbnb to stay in, we couldn't find any that had air conditioning. And we couldn't understand why until we looked and saw you don't need air conditioning here. It's just that nice.
Well, I'm very glad. So, to finalize this, would you like to say anything to any people that were looking at you, foreigners, Mexicans that were considering, that were probably never in their lives have ever heard about these, and they were looking for somebody to come and see them?
I would definitely, if I was in the States, I would come here to get my Ortho-K. And the reason I would is the fit is better and the people are very friendly. But the beauty is you get to experience a whole new culture at the same time that you're getting your contacts. And I like to travel. And Mexico for somebody from the States is incredibly cheap. There are so many places you can go. You can basically eat out every night, and it's no more expensive than if you were to cook at home in the States every night. So you can try new foods, new restaurants, you can go to all kinds of different cultural things that are super affordable for us. I would definitely do the Ortho-K over other kinds of contacts, simply because at the end of the day, my eyes aren't burning and red and hurting. Because I've had these contact lenses in there irritating them all day. Places like New York, where there's a fair amount of dust in the air. It seems kind of strange it being a city, that you would think dust more in the rural areas, but no, that the dust is pretty thick, especially in the subway, because the brakes of the subway cars put dust into the air every time you stop. The cars driving by on the streets throw the dust up. So your eyes take a pretty good beating there in terms of the irritation just from being there. But not having a contact in there, it doesn't hold that dirt in your eye and keep it against your eyeball. So I think that's really a good plus.
And I guess, for example, spectacles. Why would it be Ortho-K a better option than just pure spectacles?
Well, do you need sunglasses? Do you want to carry 2 pair? If you're getting old, do you need 3 pair? reading glasses, distance glasses, and sunglasses. And if you have the sunglasses, do you need them for distance or for reading? So you could get into 4 pairs of glasses pretty quickly. And living on a boat, there is a lot of, the boat is white, so when you walk outside, it is blinding. And so you definitely need sunglasses. And then of course, if you're on the ocean, the glare off the water itself is enough to make you need sunglasses. So it just simplifies life, because you need 1 pair of glasses, your sunglasses. And I guess they're over there, but I have mine on a cord that I can put around my neck. And so I can put them on, take them off, and there's nothing to worry about. There's no changing. And the beauty of this is this is like getting LASIK surgery, but the problem is LASIK surgery wears out after 10 to 15 years. I've got a friend who's a pilot who had LASIK surgery done several years ago, but now he's getting close to 50, and he's beginning to have to wear glasses to go with his LASIK because his eyes are hardening, just like mine are. He's just about 5 or 6 years behind me in terms of getting old. And because of that hardening, now he's having to go to where he has glasses as well. Whereas every year, or my first prescription went 18 months, but every year I can adjust these. And it's not the permanency of the LASIK surgery. So as my vision changes as I get older, I can keep fixing it. And if somebody makes a mistake with LASIK, what do you do?
Permanent, yeah.
Yeah, so this to me seems so much safer. And it's not that uncomfortable to have to get up and put them in before bed every night. It's not the end of the world, although some nights it feels like, oh, I don't want to have to get up and put them in. But the next day, when your vision is good and you can look across the street and see the flowers on that tree, it's worth it.
It's worth it. But some people would imagine when you say, you know, like putting them at night or something, it might hurt, it might be rough to sleep on the lenses because you have something like people can imagine that there's something in your eye so you cannot go to sleep, but you don't mean that you cannot.
You don't notice it. You get ready for bed, you put in your contacts, you lay down, and in 15 minutes you're asleep, and your contacts are not even on your mind. The one thing you can't do is you can't sleep on your face, but if you sleep on your side or your back, you're fine. And that's really the only gotcha. I used to sleep on my stomach all the time,
okay. But
it also was causing problems for my eyes before I had the ortho-K, because I would sleep on this eye all night and I would get up in the morning and it would be just bloodshot and sore. So sleeping on my back is probably better for me anyway.
Okay, so it was perfect for both sides.
Yeah, I definitely think they're the better kind of contacts. They're a little more expensive, but they're worth it.
Okay, even for that, like you travel a lot and in the boat, even in the conditions that sometimes is limited and everything, it's not a problem. It's not like
No, not at all. We make our own water, so we've got some of the cleanest water in the world. With the water that I have on the boat, I can wash my hands and wash the contacts, and I haven't had any trouble. The water on my boat is actually better than the water in the city. So from that standpoint, it's a piece of cake, and there's no chlorine in it at all either. So, but it's the only gotcha for ortho-K is if you are cruising in the Caribbean, there are very few places to get the work done. And so we were in Isla Mujeres and flew here because this was a place I found that I could actually get the ortho-K. Whereas I couldn't get it in Jamaica, I couldn't get it in Cayman. I would have had to go back to, say, Miami, or I could come here. And here I get to experience all of Mexico, and here I get from the service.
Awesome. Well,
this is probably the best eye doctor I have ever had, with the exception of one who is no longer alive. But yeah, it was. She is amazing in how quickly she can tune in on what you need vision-wise, and it's been really good.
Referring to Dr. Reyna, which is
Sí.
okay. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much, and would love to see you like back again as when you come back to Mexico.
Yeah. I think I'm going to pick a little bit later than July, just simply to avoid the every night rain. I guess that was July.
Yeah.
I'll probably come in August next time, just to make it where it doesn't rain every evening.
Totally smart, bro. Thank you very much, sir.